Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now this is going to cover the par fives of the upcoming Snow City tournament, which is of course going to be the City Park course, and they are throwing some snow onto the scenery. This is going to be a general path on how to play these holes. Keep in mind that the par fives on City Park can give some players some trouble, okay? Hole number 2 is a long par 5 in which we typically have to lay up and then on our second shot, and then take a rough bump or our thorn shot to pin to try to pick up an eagle. It is a player in which a lot of players will commonly birdie the hole, so picking up the eagle is like getting an extra drop. On top of that, we have hole number 6, which there's 2 different ways you can approach the drive. Again, that hole can give some people some issues when it comes to picking up the eagle, because in some wind angles, you have to play shot number 2 with your big dog. But then hole number 9 does provide us an excellent opportunity with the albatross. Make sure that you stay tuned for my actual walkthrough on Thursday that will cover the wind angles, all the spin adjustments, and any elevation tweaking that we need. But let's go ahead and take a look at hole number 2. Now, hole number 2 here, I don't have any of the fancy snow replay saved, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, the approach is going to be the same whether we've got snow in the background or not. I typically play shot number 1 with our quarterback just simply for the accuracy purposes. We have great accuracy and we have a great ball guideline. What I like to do is get my spins set and then figure out where exactly I want to aim. But you'll see here the drive is going to be very easy. Unless you're a very high level club player in rookie and you've got money balls that provide excellent power along with top spin boost, you have to lay up here on the drive. There are tailwind angles in which you may be able to get yourself all the way over to the next fairway, but it is typically highly unlikely. Now we have shot number 2 here. All we're going to do is lay up. We're going to play at 10% at max. I am going to show you 2 different layup options, okay? On this particular layup option, we're going to be setting ourselves up for the thorn shot to try to drop the eagle. Now, when we do that, we typically want to get our ball as far up on the right-hand side of the fairway as possible to the right of the sand trap. So that's what you're going to see me try to do here. You see me that I'm aiming to the right of the sand trap area. You know, it doesn't have to be super specific, but again, you know, we do want to get on that particular area to take our thorn shot. I do believe that most rookie players are going to be taking the shot at pin in order to try to pick up the eagle, and maybe some more advanced rookie players will be taking the rough bump. I will show you both. And then what we try to do, we can't always do it, but what I try to do is get ourselves able to bounce off the fringe. Again, another hole with a glitchy ball guideline. Set your spins. Ball guideline going to the hole here, as you see. And you can see that I am trying to use the fringe as my landing spot. We do hit a perfect ball here, and we are able to get this ball to drop into the hole, hitting the fringe, coming in dead center of the pin for the eagle. Now, when it comes to shot number 2, and we're trying to lay up for the grizzly funnel shot, there is a nice funnel on this hole that you can play with a rough bump. We do like to be more left-hand side, so I guess not left really, but we like to be more middle, okay? We like to lay up in front of the sand trap. There are multiple ways to play this hole when it comes to looking for the drop. But here on Rookie Division, just going to cover the 2. Going to cover the straight at pin, which we already saw. And then I'm going to cover the rough bump here as well. So you see here, I'm trying to lay up in front of the sand trap instead of getting max distance to the right-hand side of the sand trap. Now here we find our funnel shot. It is going to be played minus 20% elevation. And then again, players with the grizzly, you're going to have yourself a great ball guideline, great accuracy. And then what we typically do is we set our spins, and then we try to find the funnel as we set our spins. Again, it's a good idea that you stay tuned to Thursday's video, because I will typically have a pretty good gauge on where you need to set your spins to at least give you an idea of starting spot. But here we normally go with top spin combined with side spin to the left is normally the key. And now we're just moving our club around. As you can see here, that as we move our club around, our ball guide line after our spins are set, it really doesn't change too much. Here you can see that I'm aiming a little bit pin high, and then I'm adjusting my rings for the wind. Perfect ball. And we come in and you see we catch this funnel very nicely here, but we just missed pin high. So the ball went exactly where I was aiming. Probably a situation where I was running out of time. But again, hopefully when it comes to Thursday and Saturday and the upcoming tournament, we have that one exactly figured out what we need to do to get it to drop. This will take us here to hole number 6. Hole number 6, I will show you 2 different ways to approach the hole. Here on tailwind, this is a great opportunity just to go full blast and let this ball rip down the fairway, landing yourself very nicely on distance to the bottom fairway. If you're able to execute this shot, then you're going to be able to take a nice shot to pin with a sniper, which will give you a good opportunity to drop the alba. Not a lot of players will pick up the albatross on this hole, so if you're able to get it, that's an advantage. You see here that we hit an overpowered shot, even a little bit great, but we're looking for the rollout onto the bottom. Now, of course, I would have rather gone hitting the fairway a couple times and then rolling out. But at the end of the day, all we're looking to do is get to the bottom part of the fairway, no matter how we get there. Players who are willing to use a power 4 or a power 5 ball, such as a free-to-play ball like a berserker, you're going to make this hole a lot easier on yourself. Shot number 2 is going to look like this whenever we're able to hit the drive. You can see here that we are at maximum distance of our sniper, so this is again a pretty long par 5. It is another par 5 in which we're not able to attack the pin directly onto the green. We are having to play a bounce over shot with the sand trap as a hazard here. You can see here I set my spins and then I look for the landing position. We were pretty much dead on when it comes to that shot. The only thing that we needed was a little bit more backspin, as we came directly at the hole, but we just bounced over it. It would have been cool if it had bounced in, but again, the shot was on, just a small tweaking there. Now, this is another way in which you can play hole number 6, and a lot of lesser level players will have to play it. So, if you don't have yourself a strong driver, you're probably going to have to play down here on this little area where this fairway indents to the left. We go with our top spin combined with side spin, and we are looking to get a lot of yards on this drive. Now, when we go this way, we're going to be very long distance from fairway to the pin, so we do need to play with our best wood club, and for most rookie players, the wood club that provides the most distance is going to be your big dog, and you will see a big dog shot upcoming. Here, we hit a perfect ball. And again, all we're trying to do is hit this fairway right here, that small patch of fairway, bounce over, pick up yards, roll as far up as we can without pushing it too hard, because obviously we don't want to roll into the rough. That would be deadly. Shot number 2 will look like this. Again, it's a bounce over shot. We are getting a headwind angle, so the big dog is going to help us when it comes to that. We just apply our spins. Really, we just want to make sure that we land onto the green. Here, of course, anytime you're using a big dog, it's going to be a lesser of a ball guideline, which is going to make the albatross more difficult to get. I do back my target up just a little bit. You see that I'm not in maximum distance of my big dog. I do back it up to the plus 11. That way when I pull, I don't pull into as much overpower as I normally would. But since I do pull into a little bit of OP, I just use a click of OP on the shot. We hit our ball, and this is all we're looking to do is just get over that sand trap and get our ball to roll onto the green, leaving us in for a putt on for hole number 6. Some players will mess this up, okay? Some players on this particular shot will hit a great ball, and they will get stuck in the rough, or they misadjust and they land in the sand before the green. So this is not an automatic eagle par 5 for all players. So keep that in mind. Pick up the eagle here, and you're looking good. Now we're going to go to hole number 9. Hole number 9 definitely gives us the best opportunity for an albatross on this particular course. We play shot number 1 typically the same way every time. We normally go max side spin to the right. Depending on the wind angle, we will either use a kingmaker or we will use ourselves a katana ball. I normally put my yellow ring right there on the rough line, and then from here, it's all about the curl. Stay tuned for Thursday's walkthrough with the correct wind angle so that you know exactly how much curl to use, because the worst thing that you can do on this hole is over curl your shot to the right, and you will either get stuck in the rough or you will roll out onto the fairway. Now, typically when you roll out of the rough onto the fairway on this hole, you cannot reach the green in 2, so be very mindful of that. Shot number 2 is normally almost always played between 0 and minus 10% elevation, and it's also normally played with some sort of offset unless you're very good at using slider percentages. But for rookie division and my pro division walkthroughs, I try to make everything as simple as possible, avoiding using sliders, which is why you can see here on this particular shot, I'm using an offset instead of aiming center of the cup. Normally on rookie and most pro holes, we can get away with offsetting instead of using a slider. And that is, of course, as long as you and I typically get around the same distance on our drive. That's when that works out the best. But here we do hit a perfect ball. You'll see we get the bounce, and we get the camera angle, and we zoom in, we smack the pin, center a cup for an albatross. That is holes number 2, 6, and 9 in the upcoming Snow City 9-hole tournament. I hope that you find the video helpful. If you do, please hit that thumbs up button before you go. Thanks, everybody.